That's just the way things are. And some people could care less about the notoriety. But with the performance enhancing and with Barry Bonds, mainly this is what this is about, is that Barry Bonds has got a great swing. He's got a great compact swing. And he chokes up on the bat, which reduces, supposedly, the power. So he puts the bat on the ball. And I know you could probably say, well, Barry Bonds is a jerk. He treats people like crap. Does this or does that, boo-hoo-hoo. But basically, I mean, if you're asked the same question over and over, even as something as simple as, hey, excuse me, sir, can I get your autograph? If you heard that a couple of hundred times a day, simply because you're a famous person, you would probably get annoyed by that. But just imagine if you're asked the same question, not related to, hey, can I get your autograph, sir? Or ma'am, if you're asked the same question repeatedly, and it's something that you really didn't even want to hear one time, you would probably get a little bit testy about it. And so I would say give Barry Bonds a break. Everybody's not going to act the way that you want them to act. And things are not going to go your way. In your life, you're going to fail more times than you succeed. And that's a plain fact of life. And most people who are successful will probably say that. And the ones who are not willing to say that probably had a golden spoon in their mouth before they were 1 or 2 years old. It was given to them. So basically, with Barry Bonds, he has a great swing. And in baseball, you put the bat on the ball. And he's been very successful at doing that. And he's broken this record playing the last, since 93, I think? 94, 93, 94? In San Francisco at a baseball park where it has been rated as one of the least favorite of hitters to go play in, simply because it's on the bay. And they have a lot of strong winds there in San Francisco. And so, there's a lot of bad-mouthing Barry Bonds, and it's just like with the commissioner, Bud Selig. Well, the reason why he did not want to do any hoopla over the issue of the home run record is for a couple reasons, but I believe the main one is that it's his responsibility for the steroids. They wanted more fans in the stands. How do you get them to come to the games? The home run is the big thing in baseball. People want to see home runs. Sure, they want to see triples and double plays and throwouts at the plate. They want to see home runs. And they've let this go on, whether it be steroids or juiced balls or whatever sort of reasons, they've allowed it to happen. They make millions and millions of dollars. And you're going to tell me they cannot drug test people, drug test the players, on a consistency that will detect drug usage. And Barry Bonds has never failed a steroids test. And sure, Barry Bonds is no angel, I'm sure. I'm sure he does drugs, probably smokes pot, his business. If he's smoking crack, it's stupid, you ought to stop. But what I'm saying is that he's human. Just like me or you. I'm no angel. And those who are, God bless you, because we need you in this world, trust me, because it's a tough world out there. It's a bad world, in a way. And we need all the good people we have in our lives. We need them. And I thank you for being there. But basically, I believe that there's a lot of athletes doing steroids. And it's just like with the Tour de France, the guys who ride the bicycles. Probably all of them are doing steroids. And I'm not just trying to be funny or cute. They're all doing steroids. Simply because, if the last winners of the Tour de France, pretty much, they've been doing steroids. Chances are, if you're going to race in the race and you want to have a chance at winning, You need to do some, because that's a pretty hard endurance thing to do, is to go ride a bicycle about 120 miles in one day, or go ride at 40 or 50 miles in the mountains on an upgrade incline. That's a tough thing to do. So all the talk about steroids, and it's just part of life. It's just part of the progression of the human factor of our development. And it's going to be there. It's not going away. It's, I think, probably as crazy as it sounds, is that Jose Canseco, which he was I went and saw him in Tampa Bay play. He looked like a football player playing baseball against a bunch of little leaguers. That's how huge the guy was, a big, tall guy. So basically, when he says that, they blackballed me from Major League Baseball, he's probably correct, because he probably was going to come out and say, hey, I'm doing steroids, and I'm not ashamed of it, because, look at my beautiful body, let's say. So, don't believe everything you hear by the people in charge, that type of deal, simply because they're out to make money, and they want your money. They want your season ticket money. They want your money for the jerseys, for the hats, even for everything else that goes along with it. And that's just a sad commentary on society, because we're all to blame. So I would say, do not blame Barry Bonds simply because he broke Hank Aaron's record. The record was there to be broken, just like it was there before Hank Aaron broke it. And the record will be broken in 6 years, and some other player will come along and break the record after A-Rod breaks it. That is if A-Rod is able to play his entire career without being injured, because Griffey missed a lot of time with his injuries, and he's right at 600 home runs. And if he wasn't injured, he'd be right up at 700 right now. He could possibly be past Bonds at this point. So it's all relative to society, I believe. And if you have talent, if you're good at something, people are going to want to knock you off that pedestal that you've attained, that you've reached. And that's just the way life is. I thank you for watching, and please watch again. Please subscribe, because I'm going to post all sorts of vlogs about all sorts of topics. Some of them could be off the wall. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.